$5,000, $10,000, $15,000, and even $20,000 has been paid to viewers of this channel in stimulus from states. There's rent stimulus, that's the big one, then utility stimulus, and then there's state stimulus checks, the smallest of the bunch, but those can range anywhere from a few $100s up to $2,000. Stimulus checks across the board: Minnesota, Maine, Colorado, New Mexico, Oregon, North Carolina, Houston, Pennsylvania, Austin, Jacksonville, Orange, coming as well. New York announced just days ago. I told you it was pending. This is all incredible, great news. So is this money you can get? Yes. Where is this money? It's money right now. When have viewers been getting this? Over the last 2 weeks. Have you gotten it? You better. This is the video to find out how to get it. I'm so glad you're joining on a big afternoon's recording. Also, I'll be going over the $2,400 of SSDI and SSDI, hazard pay, the federal hazard pay, EIDL. What's going on with Biden with all those other things in January? Rent, food, and more? There's so much to deliver. I'm so glad you joined me. Let's get to it. This is Purple. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Purple with big news about big money available to you from your states. And over the last couple of days, I've been talking about states that were pending, and people said, what does that mean by pending? Pending means this. Michigan, minutes ago, announced a massive stimulus plan. Massive stimulus plan. So that's why you have to subscribe. Please subscribe. Go to this front channel, subscribe. Hit also the alert button. Someone sent me a very nice DM this morning. Said, I'm subscribed, but I'm not getting alerts when you go live. Why is it? I said, did you hit the alert button? He's like, oh, I forgot that. You got to hit that little bell. Ring my bell. That's that one song used to say. Ring my bell, because that's the only way you're going to get an alert when a new video goes live. I'm going live. I have additional recordings, as you see today, that I never had before. I'm bringing back old videos that explain how to get PUA and UI, how to get EIDL. So a lot of self-help videos that I recorded over the last few months. We're coming up on my 8th month anniversary. This actually on Christmas Eve. This channel launched on April 24th. And so I want to ensure that you get money right now. So please subscribe, and please subscribe. That allows you to get all this information as fast as it hits before anyone else. Also, like this video. It really helps in the algorithm's ranking. And today we're being killed on the algorithm's ranking. So hit that like button really good. In this video, I'm going to be going over the massive news coming out of Michigan. Massive stimulus, and it's an example of what's going to happen in other states. I told you it's coming. They've been negotiating these for a while. Maine was one of them who was negotiating. They're doing these around the clock. I told you New York was coming. New York is now arrived as well. And this is because states are worried about Congress, so they're stepping up. Meantime, I'm going to turn to your counties. And then I'm going back to Congress to tell you what's coming in January. But the big, massive news is the nonprofits. I have all the nonprofits, the names, the locations, the cities and counties that are providing that stimulus relief to you. Get ready, get a pen out, get a pencil and paper, get going. You can pause this recording right now and then start it up again after you have the pen and paper, because I got a lot of information. Let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news as you start today is that there's a massive amount of stimulus that's coming out across states and counties across the country. There's so many different types of stimulus, and I want to explain each of them and where they are and what they're called. I want you to be ready for each of them. The first one is states are providing extended weeks of unemployment benefits. So some of you have ran out of benefits and states are now stepped up. Those extended weeks of benefits are currently being announced in Hawaii, Illinois, New York, and New Jersey. Word has it that other states may do it as well. The anticipated states to extend benefits may include also California, Texas, and Florida. It's believed that most states will step up if the debacle that's currently going on in Congress actually formulates into a full-fledged meltdown. If there is no extension of PUA and UI, I expect states across the country to do this because they have the authority to do it. That's extended weeks of UI. The next one is state stimulus checks, which I've always told you not to get excited about because they're not that big. They're small. I'm interested in getting you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, $10,000. So don't get excited about $300 unless you're Ron Johnson. Just who gets excited about $600? But here you go. You want some $600 news? Here you go. Maine, $600. There you go. Maine, $600. Colorado, $375. New Mexico, $1,200. Oregon, $500 was paid previously. North Carolina, $335. Houston, $1,200. Austin, $2,000. Orange did $1,000 last week. Pennsylvania pending. Also pending New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Massachusetts, New York, New Jersey, Virginia, and Delaware. Jacksonville, $1,000. Orange, $1,200. Nome, Alaska is paying right now. Escambia, Florida is pending. Fort Worth, Texas is pending. Gadsden County, Florida is pending. These are stimulus checks that either have been sent, will be sent, or are pending, or have some restrictions to them. All right, so then let me turn to rent stimulus. Rent stimulus is the big one. That's the one you should be focusing on. This is thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in your bank account very quickly. I had a very nice person DM me a few minutes ago. So I'm very depressed about the holidays. I don't have any money for gifts. My children are 14 years of age, and I'm having problems paying the rent. I said, have you been watching my videos? All I do is get people rent money paid. Really? It's like, hello. And I also get viewers holiday gifts that the kids are under 16 years of age or younger. More about that in this video as well. So let me turn to rent stimulus. There's 3 ways to get rent stimulus. It's first from your city or your state or your city or county or your state or the nonprofits. Let me start with the government first. City, counties, and states have the rent assistance. It's called rent assistance. No other words. Just use the word rent assistance. Don't add words to it like I'm on SSI. Don't add words on it to like I'm a veteran. Just ask for rent assistance. It's generally in your city hall, your county housing authority, your state, or your state housing authority. Examples of people who have gotten rent paid from counties, cities, and states are the following. They've gotten paid from San Diego County. They've gotten paid from Broward County, Miami-Dade, West Palm Beach, Orange. They've gotten paid by San Bernardino County. They've gotten paid by Alabama State Housing Authority, Louisiana Housing Authority, Kentucky Housing Authority, Mississippi Housing Authority, so New York Housing Authority, New York City Housing Authority. So these are organizations that are paying rent with a rent stimulus plan. Where are the new ones that have been recently announced? Harrisburg, PA, Nashville, City of Atlanta, counties across Georgia, like Gwyneth, DeKalb, City of New York. I told you the state of New York's rent assistance plan was coming. I told you, people were like, I can't find it. I told you it's coming. It's now arrived. State of New York is back with another rent assistance program. It had one in July. I covered it then as well. And expect more to be announced across your city, county, and states. That's where you have to stay tuned to your local news for these things. Then, if you've looked for all those things and you still don't find it, don't worry. I have nonprofits. Who are the nonprofits? These nonprofits are paying rent across the country. And the big ones that are paying rent in a lot of jurisdictions for the viewers of this channel are the following. Got the pen and paper ready? United Way, Children's Catholic Charities, St. Vincent de Paul, Salvation Army, Community Action. I'll say it again. United Way, Salvation Army, Community Action, St. Vincent de Paul, Catholic Charities. Here are examples of then specific cities or counties or states where viewers have gotten rent paid or by and who paid the rent. Ready for this one? Let's go. Mississippi, not one, but 4 organizations paid rent for viewers of this channel. Mercy House, Home Saver, Salvation Army, and MSHDA Eviction Diversion. In Rhode Island, 2 organizations, Crossroads and Crossroads Housing, and then Rhode Island Housing Authority. 211 Help for Rent in Delaware, 211 Help for Rent in Texas. In Indiana, they got it from indianahousing.org and also 211. In Las Vegas, I've been telling... Oh, before I continue, I got to pause for a second. These lists that I go over, nothing is more wonderful when a viewer tunes into Purple Power Live and says, thank you, I got rent exactly from the organization you told me. Last night, we had about 5 of them. And Las Vegas was an example of them. Las Vegas County Services are paying rent. I told you they're sort of slow, but they are paying it. Viewer last night in Purple Power said, "Thank you. You told me to go to Clark County. I got it paid." The reason why the reason why I know these lists is because other viewers have gotten paid for this. These lists that are very specific and very unique, it's because viewers said, "I got paid for this." I said, and in fact, sometimes they don't tell me who paid them. I say, "Who paid you?" "Oh, that's because I want to know so I can share the information with another viewer." I help one viewer, then that viewer, their information helps 200, 500 other viewers. And that's the spirit of this channel. Don't assume that this is something I pulled off the internet. This is something you're only going to hear from me. That's why this channel does so well. Please subscribe. Kentucky, community action pay for utilities. Pennsylvania, a viewer got paid from United Way. One Shot, a viewer got paid in New York from One Shot. In Michigan, a viewer got paid by Salvation Army, but now we have that big new Michigan plan. In Arizona, a viewer got paid by New Leaf. In Nebraska, a viewer got paid by United Way. In Georgia, a viewer got paid by United Way. A viewer got help with mortgage assistance. Here's the mortgage assistance help from 877 Get Hope. Then let's turn to some other places. El Paso, a viewer got paid by Project Bravo. HEAP, H-E-A-P, paid heating in a lot of places. Military OneSource.mil paid is helping viewers find stuff as well. CityofDallas.com paid for rent. Let's continue. How about Texas? Viewer got paid rent in Texas from St. Mary Magdalene. In Kentucky, they got rent paid by Community Ministries. I'm going to say that again. You know why? Because I never heard of Community Ministries in Kentucky until the viewer told me the rent was paid to them by Community Ministries in Kentucky. I say that every recording that I can possibly say it. And guess what? Last night, someone Purple Power Live said, "Thank you. I got paid by Community Ministries in Kentucky." In New Jersey, a viewer got paid by United Way. A viewer told me they got paid their rent in Ohio, because I got a lot of questions about Ohio, from Community Action. Guess what? Last night a viewer said, yes, them again. They also got paid by Community Action in Ohio. TCD in Phoenix, the second got a repeat last night as well. TCDC for Phoenix. In Massachusetts, Interfaith Social Services. In Alabama, 211. In Delaware, up to $10,000. In Fort Bend County, Texas, from Catholic Charities. And in Jersey, from United Way. It's so exciting. What's important to understand is that it follows how I started this channel. When I started this channel on April 25th and I was helping people with EIDL, I saw their problems, and when I fixed one of their problems, I asked them, how did I fix it? And then they told me. So with that information, I would share that information with 200 other viewers. And suddenly I would help 200 other viewers, but then I would fix something else new and I would tell someone else. This type of information is a continuation of that way of doing news, where I help one person get rent. They tell me how they got the rent, and then I come back and I tell other viewers how to get the rent. Ultimately, I'm giving you the information. Just go do it. Just go do it and crush, as Nancy would say, crush the stimulus. You're not doing it, Nancy, so we're going to do it. Crush the stimulus. Do exactly what I'm telling you in this recording. Now, if you, as I drop half of the stuff on the set, crush the set. It's just, one of the things you got to understand is that when you're doing things, if you're having problems and you try it and you're just, I can't get this done, I don't know how to do it, then reach out to the volunteers. The volunteers are in the pinned comment to this video below, or in the pinned comment in the corner if you're watching on a computer, and you look for them at news.lalate.com/community. It's a page that starts with a picture of cute animals at the top, and then below that is separated from Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook accounts. You reach out to the volunteers. Do not respond to unsolicited remarks from third parties. Those unsolicited remarks from third parties on social media are bad people. Do not respond to them. They usually do schemes or scams that involve WhatsApp or texting or some type of Bitcoin crapola. Just don't do that. Don't do that. Don't talk to unsolicited people. Just like how your mom used to say, don't talk to people on the way home from school. It's the same thing. You reach out to the volunteers. You see who they are. They're on the channel right there. Next, let's turn back to Congress. $2,400 if you on SSDI and SSEI, yes. So that's another stimulus package that would come in January. That's part of the monolith, the big thing from Biden. It may be a standalone bill that would include a $200 add-on to your current benefits every month to December, then a step up of about 20% lifetime, and a new benchmark that would tie your annual reassessment of benefits to something different than COLA, which never moves. This is all incredible, great news. It would be a standalone bill, presumably, just for my SSDI, SSI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, and veterans benefits. All really great. How about everything else? Hazard pay? Yeah. Hazard pay is going to happen in January. If the Senate falls to the Democrats, you'll see the full hazard pay. If it doesn't, you'll see watered down hazard pay. Full hazard pay is $13 an hour from January to 60 days after the pandemic ends, calc up to $10,000 for essential workers. Essential workers, I've done 1,000 videos about that, but I've told you all to sort of sit back until we see the bill because I don't want you to wait. I have people saying, when am I getting the hazard pay? It's just not even written as a bill yet. So just calm it down. What else? EIDL will come back in two forces. One, the viewers who had applied for EIDL and did not get the grant, but did apply when the grant was open, should get the grant. And those that got a $1,000 watered down check and said $10,000 should get that. And then new EIDLs will get paid. What else? Well, you're going to see rent stimulus to cover your rent at the end of the eviction moratorium. So let's say the eviction moratorium is over in March. There would be a massive amount of rent coming to you to ensure you're not evicted on March 1st. That's how it works. PPP, CDC grant, yeah. The Lifeline grant, yes. The Lifeline grant is $50,000. I don't see that happening with Mitch anytime soon, if he retains ownership of the Senate. But the CDC grant, sure, for frontline workers. There's a lot of things happening. And ultimately, what I want you to understand is, I think in the 2 weeks in which I've made these recordings, viewers have now understood this is the big thing. This is the big thing, the state stimulus. And the most important message I've tried to really get across in the last 3 days, try my best. I don't know if I'm still getting it across, but I hope you tell this to other people as well. Don't focus on state stimulus checks. It is one item of many. If you get it, you get it. Focus on the rent stimulus, because the rent stimulus is not going to be around much longer. It's not going to be around much longer. These nonprofits do not have endless funds of money. And so, for every person on this channel that gets $5,000 from a charity, that charity may not have $5,000 for the next person that sits around. And if you're that person sitting around waiting for a $200 stimulus check from your state when you could have gotten $5,000 of rent, and then you reach out to that rent group, 3 weeks later, saying, I never got that $200 stimulus check from the state. Do you have anything for rent? I did, but you should have applied 2 weeks ago. Don't be that person. Get the rent stimulus now. Get the utility stimulus now. And also reach out to the volunteers. And as always, stay with me next for Beat a Mitch. That'll be a live recording. That'll have your latest updates on the second stimulus and also updates about PUA, UI, and FPUC. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, stay that life for more.